इतना सा फर्क है कुछ होने में और बहुत कुछ होने में। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में कि अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन की कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी कि एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और 7वें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा। तो बस चलिए फ्रैंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रैंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Master Franchise Show, Franchise India and FranGlobal. We, FranGlobal, the international branch of Franchise India, have the honor to present the Master Franchise Show here. We have immense pleasure to have the many brands with us and our our management team with us, Gaurav sir and Venus Barak. I would like to invite Venus Barak to introduce our brand and as well as our FranGlobal from her side. Over to you, Venus.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. Good evening, everyone from this part of the world, from Asia. Good afternoon to our partners and our friends joining in from Europe, and a very big American good morning for our brands and friends joining in from the US, and a big common namaste to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And my name is Venus Barak, as Priyanka mentioned, and I lead the FranGlobal business, which is focused on international market development. So that's why this show. So this show is focused on master franchising, and today we are joined by brands from all across the world, and I will touch upon that later. But if I can start the session by just sharing some thoughts which I've just noted down, and kind of go back to basics on what exactly master franchising is, what it entails, and what is in it for you, and how you should approach it, just so that we will try and be on the same page. So master franchising as a concept is a basic arrangement where the franchise company or the brand provides rights and responsibilities of their brand within a given geographic territory. Master franchise rights can be for an entire country, a country master that you call. It can be for a region, and it can be for an area or a single city. especially in our country, in India, a city sometimes is as big as multiple markets. So essentially, the master purchases the rights to develop the particular brand within their allocated territory, which it can be anything. And just for an example, for our participants who have joined us here, you can refer to, sort of marquee brands like Domino's, KFC, McDonald's, Subway, Baskin, among others. These are all basically master franchisees, and there are over 700 plus masters operating in India, maybe more. And master franchising, the majority of brands globally have used some form of master franchising or area development model to help grow their brand. I mean, in my experience, master franchising is most often used in international expansion, and that's where our role comes in. And as I mentioned, FranGlobal, as an international arm of Franchies India, we exclusively, our business is actually to only work with international brands for market entry in India and selected other markets. Coming back to, so now the master franchisee in their particular country, or in this case, let's say India, essentially, which is very important to note, becomes franchisor themselves. And that is an important part of the DNA which you need to have if you're looking at a master franchise opportunity. Again, does not matter how big the territory is, but the mindset of a brand is required. And of course, once you become a master, you will begin to develop and sell franchisees within your territory. And I think if you look at, if I can say, about 30 odd year journey of master franchising, especially in our country, my observation is it's beneficial for both parties. I mean, briefly, I think I'll divide it into two sort of points. For franchisors, the benefit is, of course, the immediate infusion of cash from the sale of the master. And of course, and that's just one factor, but it now has someone, which is you as a prospective master in the region, with an intimate understanding of the economic, the business environment, demographic, cultural landscape within the country or the region or the city. Especially in India, I think it's very critical because India is many countries in one country, and the importance of partner is just elemental to the success. Now, coming to the master franchisee, you get the benefits with the strength of the brand. They know what they are doing. There is no experimentation happening. You, of course, get franchisor support. And of course, with the most basic sort of expectation, you will get share in ongoing royalties and franchise fees from the locations in the territory. Now, so that's the basic of the how this relationship is very, very on the basic sense. Now, what is a typical split in a master franchise relationship? And again, there are no set rules or formulas for this, but and there are agreements. We have done over 100 plus market entries, and there are agreements all over the board. But I would say this is again, by experience only. The basic is 50-50 split. So I'll for the benefit of the audience here, assuming that you are interested to acquire a master, how you should sort of calculate and visualize it. So let's look at a typical master scenario. So you buy a master franchise rights for example, I'm based in North India, so I'm using that example. I'm in North India, so you buy a master for North India, 75 lakhs, right? And then once you have acquired the rights, and of course we can, during the session, we can spend more time on how you actually should acquire a master. That's a very big topic in itself. But once you have done that, then you set up your own unit, your own locations, And then of course you then start doing marketing for franchisees, for sub-franchisees, because that's an essential element to master franchising. Now, one thing if I can add, although I think there are different sort of views out there, is it should be noted that not all master agreements require you to actually open a franchise yourself. Some are purely a development role, but it's always preferable, especially in the retail business, that you have something of your own, because you do need a proof of concept for it to sell and scale. So either way, the master starts to market, speak to potential franchisees, and once you've identified candidate or candidates, you assist them in opening their own location. And for example, if the franchise fees is 15 lakhs, you will receive 7.5 lakhs, half of it, right? So just from a basic, topical standpoint, you would need to sell 10 units, 10 locations to actually, get a break even on your fee, on an initial investment into the master. But that's, I think, that's really giving a very short perspective. But master franchise, the real potential of the revenue, however, is actually at the back end. It's from ongoing royalties, ongoing royalties on sales, ongoing marketing royalties, rebates in your territory. So if you have 10 locations operating in your territory, you're receiving 50% of the royalties. Now, that can become a solid income as you grow. Of course, initially, the investment is high, the risk is high, but once you have these 10, 20, 30 units, it all depends upon if you're open, but if really that happens, and that's what master franchising is about, then it becomes a solid income stream, and it becomes mostly passive after 2 to 3 years, because you've set up your infrastructure, you have a set team, and it becomes a fast passive income after your locations are operational from, let's say, 2-year perspective. So the horizon, and that's very important, is another point, the horizon for a master franchise is not 2 to 3 years. It is generally, it should be 5 to 7 years minimum, because that's when you can really get the benefit of your investments and your sort of the numbers which you build through sub-franchising. So that's how, that's the major point. Now, every franchisor is different. So every franchise is different. They have different expectations, different responsibilities. So I think my one advice is, please pay particular attention to what is expected out of you. That is something should align with who you are and what your background is, because brands are different, industries are different, even entrepreneurs are different. So evaluate yourself, and if you can see working with this business, this brand, this entrepreneur for next 10 years. So that's very important. So you have to really align those things. So also, just very briefly, I'm just about to sort of summarize my thoughts. Pay attention to the length of the agreement and what happens after the agreement has expired. These are the minimum sort of reading between the lines. These are very things important. So I think that's the overall, just in a very short time I could sort of put together what you should, how you should, if you're looking at a master franchise, you should sort of that this is my experience, personal experience. So in summary, I think with the right brand, with the right person as a master franchise, it can be a really beneficial, mutually beneficial opportunity. And master franchising as a concept is all about creating multi-decade, multi-generational wealth. And if done right, multi-generational wealth, but if done right, at the right time, with the right brand. And that's why we are here. Our core business is to work with international brands and master franchisees and work with them to really see if there is an alignment between what they are looking for. So that's why the way we have designed this session today. We have many brands today from all across the world, different sectors. But one thing which is common among all of them is that they have really made a business case for themselves in terms of where the world is and where it is moving forward. So very happy to have them, and look forward to have them and listen to them. And I really hope that you would also enjoy. I would really sort of request, please share about your feedback on brands, where you're coming from, your profile. The more you share, the better we should be able to serve you. That's what it is all about. So on that note, I would now like to invite our chairman and founder, Mr. Gaurav Maria, to share his perspective. Thank you so much. Gaurav, you're on mute.
So thank you, Venus. Thank you, friends, for joining us. And I also want to thank a lot of panelists who joined from different parts of the world at different timings. It's very difficult to sometimes coordinate. So thank you very much and coming along and addressing our community in India, our business buying community. And Venus said almost everything in terms of what is important to be seen when you're looking at getting into buying a master franchise. The only one difference I will do with what she said is that there is no passive business. If I can find for my retirement that passive business, then that would be very good. But I'm not able to find any passive business so far. They're all active businesses. They need you. They need your time. You need your attention. It's your money. You need to look after that. So there is no passive business in the world. Even if you are investing in stock, you need to really carefully when the company is going to die. Before that, you need to sell that stock, right? So that's where very, very important aspect of a business model. Now, I've been particularly fortunate to be a franchisee. My career started as a franchisee. I became a supply company. I started selling franchise to others. I've been a master franchise for many, many, many brands. And I have seen success side. I've seen failure side. So I will not take too much of time, but I'll give you some basic tips, 5 tips, which I would give it to you. One, it's a long-term business. As Venus said, don't come with a short-term mind. Buying a master franchise is a 10, 20, 30-year life cycle. So if you don't have that kind of horizon, then obviously this needs to come, which obviously opens up another discussion. Is there an opportunity 10, 20, 30 years which you are investing on? Is an opportunity continue to grow for that, continue to excite you for that period? Because it's also very important. Sometimes the businesses are great, but you lose excitement. I've sold a lot of my businesses at a certain level because I got fatigue out of that. So if you feel that next 10 years, 15 years, this is what your life is going to be, this is what you like to enjoy, and then that's business for you, because that's where importance would really come in. And only making money is not the enjoyment. It's all about participating in that industry, developing the structure. Second part is skills. Very different to running a franchise to running a master franchise. Running a franchise means that you're an operator. You're more good operator you are, great you achieve. And so you need to really ask, it's all about not money. If you have $1 million in your pocket, doesn't qualify that you are a good master. If you have, maybe $1 million, maybe a couple of $1 million, you might be a good franchisee because you are an operator. You want to go into depth of things. You want to really fold your sleeves, go behind the counter and take the responsibility. You might be a good operator, but you're not a developer. So there's a difference between an operator and a developer. Developer has to have multiple other skills. You need to really think through how you build the brand. How do you build the organization? How do you build cooperation with your franchisee? How do you really take them to different journey of their performance? How your people management, your relationship management, you're setting obligations, you're setting discipline, all that pieces are very important. The skills are very different. So if you have to ask yourself, am I a good developer or am I a good operator? If you're a good operator, go out and take a franchise. If you're somebody who has a much larger on the business kind of capability, then maybe become a developer. Third is it's all about investment planning. Third point is that master franchise is the investment cycle. It's not about the upfront fee or the first store you open up. Biggest mistake we have seen, almost about 75% of failures in master were undercapitalization of business. Because the first 2 to 3 years, and you to become a master, you continue to invest. So if you don't have that investments life cycle, then again you will fail, because it's not just about buying rights. I've seen people who had maybe $500,000 in their pocket, and they would go out and put, say, 300,000 for buying a master rights and balance for just opening of the fund, and they don't have money to run it. We've seen people have good businesses, good brands die because they are undercapitalized. So business model in a master means that you need to be ready with your capitalization for at least 18 to 24 months. And if you feel that that kind of capital allocation you would have for the business model, then there's no way you can fail. You will be very, very successful because you need to really do that. Again, the fourth point is returns or wealth creation, which I think Venus touched upon. This is not just about capital returns, it's also about wealth creation. How do you build the equity in the business? I have seen the people who really made money as a master actually gone and listed companies, sold to private equity funds. There was a time where a master of Domino's was more valuable than the global company of Domino's. So if you're not thinking wealth creation, this would not be a long-term business for you. Finally, which is the last point, I know, like now we will start giving you presentations. Now I have sold a lot of masters, and Venus has also sold many. I think she is most experienced than even I am on selling a masters. I feel that if a master comes and sits across us, a potential master, and he says, show me your plan, I reject him. I reject him there and then. Because if you're really buying into my plan, you will fail in as a master. But I have seen people who come to us and say, I have a plan for this brand. And this is how I want to launch it in India. This is how I want to make it #1 brand in India. They are the good masters. So master is never sold by showing you. They can, because they are coming from different parts of the world, they would give you perspective, which actually FranGlobal has given them on their business. They know their business. They've done it well. They've done it in their own territories. They have made it very big in their own markets. They're successful. Now FranGlobal has gone to them and said, look, why don't you come to India? India is a great country. We have a great market. And he says, we can look at it if you show us good partner who can look after our brand. So if unless and until you go and give the comfort of two things, one, you're going to look after their brand very well. Second, you will make justice on taking the brand to next height and according to your plan, and they get convinced on your plan, then you can be granted a master rights. Master rights are granted. It's a privilege which is given to you to own that brand in that country. I've seen people who have worked with us for 2 years, 3 years sometimes to get rights of a particular brand, and only differentiation was not money in the pocket. It was not money in the pocket. If that was the case, then almost every brand should go to only one company called Reliance, because he has all the money in the pocket. But why every brand doesn't go to him, and every brand finds his own right fitment? Because every brand is unique, every opportunity is unique, every person who presents a plan is unique. By the time your plan fits in, you're the right guy at the right place. So thank you very much. Thanks for joining in. I'll pass back to Venus, Priyanka, and the FranGlobal team. They would take you through introducing our panelists. Have your patience, keep enjoying your tea or coffee, what you are having, and keep asking your questions on the Q&A box. And Venus and team would keep taking on these questions. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cora. And Priyanka, could you please get started?
Thank you so much, Gaurav sir. Thank you so much, Venus. So today we have curated 5 brands from different sectors, which is food, training, education, business coaching, and healthcare. And now I will invite our first brand of the evening, which is Potato Corner. This brand is famous for world's best flavored French fries, based out of Philippines. Potato Corner is serving these French flavored fries from last 27 years. Potato Corner is currently has more than 240 stores across the globe, and we have the privilege to invite Zaira David, the International Business Development Manager of Potato Corner. Welcome to the show, Zaira.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. Again, Venus and Gaurav, thank you for inviting Potato Corner.
Over to you.
Let me just share my screen. Can you hear me properly?
We can.
Awesome. Okay, so just you can see my deck.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Well, good evening. I'm coming from the Philippines. So just to introduce Potato Corner, what we are the world's best flavored French fries, or as you know in India, flavored chips. So we actually sell chips here in the Philippines, and we're already available in 240 countries overseas. So in the Philippines, we have about 1,100 stores operating. And for 27 years, we have been molding our business model all over the world. So what we sell is flavored French fries. But so for the last 5 years, we've been doing a lot of product development using our formulated proprietary flavors. So just to give you a background, for 2020, what we focused on is actually being agile. And we know that everyone globally has been affected by the pandemic. But then for the past couple of months, we've opened several stores across the globe. So the first store would be, the first country would actually be in Myanmar. So we opened 2 stores in capital Takata and then Junction City. Um, we opened 3 stores in Indonesia. So we've been operating, aside from the Philippines having 1,000 stores, in Indonesia we have about 150 stores. And even Indonesia is one of the hardest hit during the pandemic in Southeast Asia, yet we still got to open 3 stores. So I'll give you a little bit of a background on how we pivoted during this COVID pandemic, strengthening delivery channels and every different sources of revenue for with the help of us as international franchisor to our international franchisees. Cambodia, we opened 1 store in Calande Mall. So it's very interesting if you look at the stores that I've been featuring. We have different store formats. So we localize each store depending on the country and how it would be seen by the local consumers, and how we can adapt to it locally. And the success story of we have as in the after the Philippines and Indonesia is actually Thailand. So Thailand had a hyper growth. They opened 2 new stores this year. But in the last 3 years, they've actually opened about 60 stores. So it's a growth story for what we have in different territories. And what we're actually looking for in India is to replicate these success stories from the Southeast Asian nations to these new territories that we have internationally. So it's not just in third world countries, but we also have in the first world countries. Like in British Columbia, we opened this year our third store in Canada, and also in Alberta. So we actually opened in the airport in Canada also. So what would you see in a typical international potato corner store? So as you can see here, like our main focus is really French fries. So if you can see this giga fries, that is the main core product in the Philippines. And you would in the 1,000 stores in the Philippines, you would see several stores offering different sizes of fries. But internationally, what we're actually offering is a very wholesome product offering. So from fries, we also have popcorn, specialty fries. If your store is a QSR store, we can also offer chicken pop, chicken wrap, burgers, and of course, local beverage tailoring to your taste. Now, our 4 core products, 4 core flavors, our proprietary flavors would be cheese, barbecue, sour cream, and chili barbecue. But as a brand, we have grown our flavors to depending on the preference of the local market. So we have rancho cheddar, sweet corn in Southeast Asia, wasabi, truffle, seaweed, kimchi, and many other more flavors that would cater to the local market. So one of our specialty is adapting locally, and if something that's popular in India would and would be would cater to the local market, we can also look at offering that in India. So as a brand, what we do is also brand tropicalization. So as I mentioned, we don't just offer new products in the local market, but we also customize the menu depending on the local preference, the price points, the how we would cater to the local market, and actually do it in such a way that it would be complementary to what the local taste and preference are. So yeah. In terms of store format, so internationally, we have several stores. In the first world countries, we would have inline dine-in, takeout stores. For third world countries, we would have school carts and standard kiosk. Now, what's very interesting is for India, what we've envisioned is very similar to how a kiosk player would be in India. So we envision about 100 to 150 stores in a given territory in India. So what we want is that hyper growth in the territory, and that's very viable with the business model of Potato Corner from the international franchisors business model and know-how to our partnership with the local franchisee. Just to give you a background on the store design, as I mentioned, we try to tropicalize and depending on the preference of the local market. So in Thailand, we opened in the airport. It's very minimalist to that aspect. In Singapore, we also have it in the airport. A standard kiosk in Indonesia would be very friendly to kids because that's really our main target market. So our main focus in the kiosk type stores is really to attract kids, so the parents would be more enticed to like order these fries and these snacks for their kids. So for specifically for India, what we have is in a 10-year projection in a given geographic area. So, for example, the Greater New Delhi, we envision about 150 to 250 stores. And in that specific territory, as a master franchisee or an area developer, our fees would range from 146 lakhs to 300 lakhs. And that would already include a term for 10 years, franchise fees for the first 3 to 6 initial stores, depending on the cost of that area, royalty fee of 6%, marketing fee of 2%, and a per store sub franchising fee of 550,000 Indian rupees. So that's basically it. Like as Venus and Gurav mentioned, really the reason why we're targeting master franchisees for these area development is it's not a short-term investment. It's really a long-term investment for Potato Corner to build our brand in India and in the new territory. And we want to replicate the successes of in each different territories that we've already had in the past couple of years. And we want to bring Potato Corner in India.
Sure, Jara. Actually, I want to just expand because if I can also bring in my colleague Anshul just to talk about the numbers so people understand. And before I mention that, Potato Corner, I mean, it's an uncontested leader in the category. There is nobody older, bigger than them. And apart from the Philippines, where they have 1,000 stores, which is kind of saying something, they have taken this to, Jara, 12 countries, right?
Yes.
12 countries under a master franchise structure. Now, for India, the model is yes, the brand is open for a country master, but the way the business is, as you would have seen the different formats, it actually is a small format business. You can put these kiosk, these carts, these stores, malls, corporate neighborhood markets, universities, colleges, anywhere. So the development plan is actually the most important thing. It's not about what for Potato Corner, if you're looking to invest into a food and beverage master, I guess the ideal would be, as Jara mentioned, an area developer. Now, what is an area developer? So in India, Jara, if you can please correct me, area means not a region, right? So we are looking how many areas we have divided?
4 areas as now. North.
So we are talking about 4 different regions of India. Then, Anshul, you can back me up here. And for example, North India, where I'm based, it will be the upper part of India. The master franchise fees is between 1.5 crores to 3 crores, and you get exclusive territory for 10 years for under a master franchise agreement, which also includes the sub-franchise rights. You have to develop a couple of your stores, let's say 3 stores. So if you're evaluating this opportunity, your cash, Anshul, there's a lot of background noise. Can you mute yourself? And so if you're looking for this opportunity, you need to have a cash infusion of about, let's say, 3 to 4 crores from the first 12 months to, let's say, 2 years perspective, to buy the rights, to set it up, and then to open your own store. So in the first year, you should be able to get all this done and then start sub-franchising. For a brand like Potato Corner, you should be able to easily, and I'm saying 100 locations. Yeah. I'm talking about one area, which is, let's say, one region. Or in this case, I'm hypothetically saying North India. It applies to every other region, maybe except Eastern India, but we can talk about that. And so accordingly, you should be able to retrieve the money which you invest into the rights by getting sub-franchise. And sub-franchising does not mean you have to actually get 150 different people. You generally, and Jaira, I think, but my experience is that with 150 locations, we're looking at about 50 or 60 odd franchisees, multi-unit. So somebody buys one, then they would invest into the second one. That's actually how you build wealth in franchising. Master franchising is about that. Franchising is about that. It is a very master franchise oriented brand. The product is very simple. Jaira and team have already worked on the supply chain part. So you don't have to invest in warehouses or kitchens in this business. And this is a food business, which is a very big expense. Typically, you would invest about 2 to 3 crores just into that. Your main investments into this is buying the rights, of course, working with Potato Corner for supply chain, setting up your 2 stores, and then just focusing on building the franchise network. It's a very franchisable opportunity. And low cost, which is again an important factor in India, especially in food business. Brands like international brands like Baskin Robbins, they have been really able to build a 800 store sort of a business in India by by sub-franchising and utilizing that low cost. Potato Corner really fits the bill on that. And so if you really want to acquire a master in food, which you want to scale in a certain amount of, I would say, financials which we have shared, which are fairly reasonable, you can reach out to us. We are working with Potato Corner team. We have, this is just a very summarized version because we have limited time, but we have detailed financials, detailed business plan, which we can share. Of course, you would do your own research, as Gaurav mentioned, which is important. But if you're looking to for an opportunity to scale at every, let's say, neighborhood or mall or location in India, which is available, then Potato Corner can be an interesting part. And these are just sort of basic financials. We can expand that on more. But yes, sub-franchise is going to be key if you're looking at this opportunity. Jaira, I just wanted to add that.
No, very good explanation, Venus. Like, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, I just wanted to expand and really mention why we are looking for master franchisees. So, as I said, Potato Corner has been here, existing for 27 years. And the way that we want to expand our business, it's not just a single unit in India, because that single unit or that 2 to 3 units in a particular location, it can fail. Yep. But we want to find a master franchisee that will eventually develop the brand and, as you said, sub-franchise effectively to these territories and making Potato Corner successful in a particular territory. So aside from that, we focus on revenue per square meter. A typical store for a sub-franchisee, if you want to open a kiosk, would be 6 square meters. And we want to compare how we're doing to the competitors in their area. So how is Potato Corner doing as a kiosk versus these other competitors in the local Indian market? So these tips and tricks as an international franchisor, we would share these to the local franchisees in India because as um, operating for 27 years, we tried to maximize the profitability per square meter in all of our stores. And that's why we've been doing it successfully. We've even opened stores during this COVID pandemic. And
Right.
we would want to share the best business practices. It's a very simple concept. Like you even mentioned, the supply chain that we've established here, and then the product knowledge, all of these aspects. It may seem that it's very easy to replicate, but at the end of the day, the business success that we've been culminating in the past 27 years would really be helpful, and it would really be systematic for the master franchisees that we picked for India.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jaira. I mean, I'm glad that you could, I know it's Friday evening for you. So I really appreciate that you could join us. And we would, of course, get back to you if we receive any sort of interest. And if you have interest in this, let us know and we can schedule a discussion with you. Jaira, thank you so much and have a great evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Priyanka, over to you.
Thank you so much, Jaira. And it was a very great presentation from your side. And now we will be moving on to our next brand, which is Forex. So, Forex is a smart trading company which helps guide people to have financial independence by teaching them how to do the currency trading with their proprietary indicators and by using company funded trading accounts. So now I would like to invite Mr. Paul McMahon. He is the Chief Operating Director of Forex Smart Trade. Welcome, Paul.
Howdy, everyone. Glad to be here.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Very
Yes,
clearly.
we can hear you.
Okay, terrific. And can you see my screen?
We can, but it's not very clear. I mean, it's a bit hazy, I think. We
Bit
can see,
hazy.
yeah, I think it's not that. My assumption is this is not what you want us to see. We can see a number 42 is
It's a
going up,
countdown.
but
I've picked the wrong screen share then.
I
Hold on.
think so. I think so.
So let me figure out how to, I'm sorry, how do I get to the, how about now?
Yes, got it.
Got it? We good? All right, sorry about that.
No worries.
All right, so what I am going to talk about today is currency trading. We teach people how to currency trade. We have been doing that for 12 years here in the United States. We like to say we create successful currency traders, and we do that in two ways. One is we have some proprietary trading indicators that have been historically very, very accurate, and we teach people to use those trading indicators with one-on-one remote training. The thing that makes us a little bit different than other people who trade current or teach currency trading is we are so confident in how well our indicators work and our ability to train people. We have a funding guarantee, so that once you have been trained, we guarantee to let you trade company money. And eventually people will have the ability to trade up to $100,000 of company money and keep up to 80% of what they make. We take the other 20%. When we start people, we don't start them at $100,000, obviously, but we start them between $2,000 and $5,000, depending on how well they traded during their training. And then every 90 days we evaluate, and so long as they haven't lost the principal, we increase their what they're trading every 90 days. So it'll take well over a year for somebody to get to this $100,000 mark. Why our customers love it? We've got 2 decades of history of success. The indicators were actually developed almost 22 years ago. And for the first 10 years, the founder basically just traded his account and made quite a bit of money. We think it's very affordable when, as a master franchisee, offering the franchise to people or offering the training opportunity to people. It's very affordable versus other franchises. It doesn't have the traditional headaches of a normal franchise. There's no inventories, no employees, no billing, collections, customer service. You are just basically teaching someone how to work for themselves. Everything is remote. You know, in the last 6 months, we have broken a number of sales records because people aren't going out. So really, if somebody has just a laptop and internet connection, they can get doing this. Another thing that our students like is that there's built-in growth, because we guarantee to give them more money, and really what allows you to make more money is having more money to trade. So for example, if you were trading a $2,500 account and you're doing 125 pips a week, a pip is how they measure movement in currency, that's a little over $300 a week. $300 a week here in the United States is walking around money. However, you get to the point that you're trading, say, a $50,000 account a year down the line, and you're doing that same 125 pips a week, that's worth well over $6,000 a week. $6,000 a week for most people is life-changing. And the other great feature that makes this very sellable is we tell people, look, you don't have to trust us or believe us before you sign up for the training. We're going to let you test it out for yourself. So basically, we've got a test drive option where for $10, we're going to let somebody use our indicators for 30 days. During that time, we are going to give them some one-on-one training. They're going to have access to our group webinars. We do live trades every day where we have a trader come online. While they watch, they do their analysis and recommend a trade. And on average, again, historically, we average about 150 pips a week in those live trades. So people can see that they see that it works and that they like it before they try. So that all kind of rolls into the success. These are what our indicators look like. It's broken down into 3 parts. I'm not going to go into it, but basically understanding what these lines are telling you. And once we're able to communicate that, as I said, people can become very successful. The sales process. Now, I'm not talking about it as a master franchisee, but I'm talking about it as a COD or a sales agent. I'll go into the difference in just a minute, but basically we advertise. We get people who respond to the advertisement saying, hey, I'm interested in learning more. We send them a kind of a 45-minute webinar video that shows one of our traders trading, walks them through so that they can see how it works and what's involved. Once they see that, they're generally interested in doing a trial. We sign them up for this 30-day trial. And as I said, they get access to a number of training webinars, pre-recorded videos, and we do live training. Every couple days, we do a 30-minute session with them to help get them up to speed faster and kind of see the value. While they are doing that training, we are attempting to upsell them into one of the coaching packages. And we've got 4 coaching packages ranging from $8,000 to $22,000. And the training packages range from 4 to 17 weeks. So the master franchise would oversee CODs. CODs are what we call chief operating directors, which is what I am. As a chief operating director, I go out and market and help bring on, offer the opportunity for the training to new people. In the United States, these are numbers in the United States. We are still working out what the numbers need to look like in India. But we sell these kind of franchises for $36,000. And then the CODs go out and promote the training packages. Training packages, as I said, range from $8,000 to $22,000. The differences in the training packages are basically how much training you receive and what the split is that you're going to share. And on the lower training packages, there's more risk for us, so they share a smaller percent, versus on the higher training packages, there's less risk. So subsequently, we let them keep more of what they make. In most of the training packages, there is a monthly fee. That fee is built in for the first year. That fee is $327 per month. So what happens is once you have a trader who is trading, basically they become an annuity because they're paying you a monthly membership fee to continue using the indicators that's allowing them to trade successfully.
Paul,
Yep.
can I come in? I think I want to go back to the last slide because I think that's a very important slide for what we are doing today. Can we go back to it? And Anshul, please, can you come in? So few questions, just so that because your name is so obvious, so it's Forex, it's smart trading. But if I understand correctly, for the benefit of the audience, you're actually a training company.
We're a training company. So we teach people how to currency trade, and we teach them that there's lots of different methods of trading.
Right.
We have our own proprietary indicator that we teach people to trade with.
Right. So it's training company, and then it's the IP company. So you have your own proprietary IP where people actually trade, right? So that's why we have the monthly fees. Yeah.
Right. To get access to the indicator that gives the signal as to, when's the right time to trade, or when's the right time to buy or sell, and how much of a trade,
Sure.
how much a trade is worth.
Sure. So just for the audience, so I think if you're looking at this business, and this is for my clarity also, because I'm also actually learning more about Forex, Paul, as we are just, starting to build the model for India. So it is a master franchise opportunity only, number one. Two, it is actually a training and a IP platform company. So please do not confuse yourself, because a lot of people I've spoken with, they come with a question that what about the regulation and compliance? So there won't be any conflict, because you actually you are only sort of working as a training company. Is that correct?
That is correct. So with respect to the brokerage, we use a third-party broker that's unrelated to us to execute the trades.
Right. Which I'm assuming would be already in India, because they would be a global player, right?
Right. Well,
Right.
right. And even though we're in the United States, we use a broker in the United Kingdom.
Sure.
And when people are trading company money, that broker has certain protections built into the account that protects the company money, and also allows us to monitor. So say, for example, we see somebody do a drawdown of 10% on their account, that means they're missing something, they're doing something wrong. So
Sure.
we'll reach out and try to give them some additional training, figure out what they're doing wrong, and get them on, get them corrected. If a student draws down the account more than by 50%, the account's automatically frozen, and then we will sit down and counsel with the student to figure out why they what happened. Generally, when somebody fails, it's because they didn't follow the risk management rules. So we've got
Sure.
very specific risk management that we teach them, and lot size, like how big a lot you can trade based on how much money's in your account. And I'd say the kind of the biggest reason for failure is that somebody traded a lot size too big for their account, and then it went the other way.
Right.
Excuse me. So we are not a broker.
Yeah.
We recommend when people are trading our accounts, they have to use our broker. If they want to trade their own money, they can use any broker they want.
Sure. So I think that's the most, because the forex currency market is, I don't know, I think you told me it's $2 trillion. That's the trading amount which happens every
6 trillion. It's the largest pure market in the world. It's
in
very,
the
very,
world. Yes.
yeah.
So 6 trillion, but don't worry about 6 trillion. And again, because I got worried about that, so it took me a while, and I'm still understanding the business. The business actually is very simple. The business is of training, coaching, and of using their proprietary platform. That's the business. From a master franchise perspective, you are buying into the proprietary training modules and systems and the platform from Forex. And as a master, you get exclusive rights to do that. Under you would appoint, I think, COD. If I can also, just for my ease of terminology, Paul, can I think in usual sort of structure, we would call them area developers. Do you think that's a good?
Yes, you could call them that. They're marketing agents. They're local marketing agents.
So we have something very similar in the Remax business here in India. So you would, under a master, you would get a COD or an area developer, who then would appoint further individual sort of brokers or in this case traders under them. So the business is simple. Yes, market is very big, $6 trillion, and I got confused with that. But business is of getting the trader guys, get them to buy the packages of the training, pay the monthly fee, and of course trade, on which there is some split which kind of goes up the ladder. And if they trade well, the Forex would sort of give them money as well. So you just need to understand this. It's a capital light business, I think. And again, Paul, I would need your feedback on this. The ideal profile for a Forex sort of master for India or for any other country would be maybe somebody who's running something in finance or in the similar industry, and they'd want to kind of scale it. What would, according to you, because it is a bit of a different business if I really compare with other franchisees available. So Paul, from your perspective, who should be an ideal kind of guy to look at this business?
Someone who loves marketing and has the ability to market. The requirements of what you have to do are pretty simple. You are going to sell training programs and sell CODs, people to sell the training programs. Many of our CODs are people who did the training, liked it so much they wanted to be able to recommend it to other people and sell it to other people. In terms of execution, there's, as a master franchise, you will provide the team of traders or trainers to support the CODs. So if we go back to the CODs, if we go back to, oops, I'm sorry. If we go back here, these traders need someone to train them. The master franchise has a group of traders who do the trading for the individual traders. And we have a curriculum that the trainers go through, and the programs last anywhere from 14 to 17 weeks. And that's broken down into 6 to 9 weeks of remote one-on-one training, where somebody is dealing with them one-on-one, and then 8 weeks of group training, where people will show up to a group webinar and they'll participate in the group. But it's the one-on-one training that really helps advance the traders to get them to be where they want to, where they need to be to trade well. Now, we also do training for the CODs. The COD training is, we've got 2 group training meetings a week. And then we also do a one-on-one 30 to 45-minute session with each COD to help them ensure that they're reaching their potential and goals. So as a master franchise, you are providing these training programs. The master franchise also does all the billing for all the CODs. So when somebody signs up, the master franchise takes care of the billing, sees that the person's turned on, scheduled for training, and that all operates smoothly. And everything is done remotely. So it's just basically bringing on the new traders and the new CODs to sell the training. So that's what the responsibilities are. Someone in the, say, the insurance industry who's got contacts with people that are interested in finance and interested in working independently, this would be something terrific for them to kind of expand and have something else on the menu to sell. So when you're talking about insurance, you can say, hey, you know what, we've got this opportunity to, would you be interested in learning currency trading? And that gives the opportunity. Now, what I would suggest for anybody thinking about this, now all the sales are the discussion of the master franchises go through Venus. But what I would argue is, since most people don't know what currency trading is to actually give it a try yourself. Do our 30-day trial and see that it works as well as we say, see that you like it. And then once you've done that, then to go into a little bit more detailed discussion as to how you can make it work, because this is something, everybody's eating French fries and knows what a French fry is, and can envision it. Most people don't know what currency trading is. So in order to familiarize yourself, I would argue that, look, you need to just kind of give this a test drive. The test drive is very, very easy. You can call me directly. I'll get you set up. We do the setups by appointment. Typically, to set somebody up, we do an onboarding appointment. It takes about 30 minutes to get somebody set up. We're going to remotely connect to your computer. We'll get our software downloaded. We'll get you registered for the various classes and webinars, and then we'll get you scheduled for a one-on-one coaching session. You can call me directly, or if you want to do it yourself, you can go to these links. First, go to get signed up. And then once you're signed up, you're still going to need help getting onboarded. We like to try to make it as easy as possible for people when they first start, so that they don't get frustrated trying to get our indicators on and seeing that they're set up correctly. So we'll do that, and then we'll kind of walk you through everything you need to know. But if this is of at all interest to you, you need to do this first before we kind of go on to the next step, so that you kind of fully understand how it works.
Sure. Thank you so much, Paul. I know it's really, really early for you, but I also know that you do your training very early, and you do this every day. I get messages. So I did the test drive before I started working for Paul. So I know, and he's a great trainer. So let us know. I think it's something which it's a unique opportunity, not for everyone. I mean, as Paul mentioned, if you have interest, if you have good fit for marketing and sales, plus have some financial product business, then this can be a very good marriage. So we look forward to hear back from you. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. Bye-bye.
Take care. Priyanka, to you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us and for giving us the presentation. So next we are moving on to our third brand, which is Pendleton. So this is the leading business coach and advisory company from last 2 decades. And Pendleton provides the best content, tools, training in the world to make you successful business advisor. And it's a privilege to invite Rob Pendleton himself, the founder and CEO of Pendleton Group. Welcome, Rob.
Hi there, Priyanka. How are you doing?
Hi, Rob.
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It's
Thank you for joining us. And
yeah,
over to
pleasure.
you.
Okay, so I'm just going to choose the hopefully correct screen and get this up and running. Tommy, can you see that screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Well, I'll jump straight in. So what we're talking about today is business coaching franchise. So business coaching is a relatively new thing, I guess, in the Indian marketplace in the last few years, but it's certainly maturing faster and faster. And business coaching differs from depth business consulting, where you spend a lot of time working in someone else's business. Business coaching is more about how you can use good courses, good information, good experience of your own to help other businesses to succeed. And so what we're looking at today is obviously the master franchise end of that, which is about having firms, and a firm would have multiple business coaches working underneath it. So with that little bit of context, I'll jump in. So why would you go about taking on a Pendleton franchise in India? Well, India is one of the fastest growing business consulting advisory markets in the world. It's absolutely enormous, and there's a huge opportunity for a wide range of firms all across the country. So we've done some looking into the details, and we think there should be at the very least potential for 50 firms across India, and potentially over 500 coaches working within those firms. So there's the opportunity here to be part of something amazing. And the thing that makes us different and special from other business coaching firms is multifold. The first thing that makes us special is the fact that we've got the business water wheel. The business water wheel is a proprietary methodology that teaches people, and I'll go into it a bit more in one of the other slides, but it teaches people how to grow a business. Think of it like a growth-focused MBA for small business owners. And you'll have that course at your disposal as a business coach as a Pendleton business coach to help your clients. Now, that's one of the big differentiators. The second is the way that we charge for things. So we have quite high premium rates for our services, but we've pitched them to be affordable to the small and medium-sized business market in India by taking great local advice from the team at FranGlobal. And Anshul has been in a lot of the detail in working out the numbers for this, and Venus has also helped. So a lot of thanks going to these guys for their support in building the model out so that it really fits the Indian marketplace. And the Indian marketplace is something that I've cared about for a lot of years. I first worked with India back at the turn of the millennium, where I used to work for PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the largest accounting firms in the world. And I pioneered, while I was there, the extreme offshoring model that used the Indian solution delivery centers to really supercharge the work that we were doing in the West. And over time, I sort of worked for a number of different consulting companies, including Infosys, an Indian company. And I had the privilege of coming out to work in India for much of the year in 2007. And I've come back and worked alongside the Indian sort of business environment throughout my 20 years plus in consulting. And so the first place on my list for expanding outside the UK in master franchising terms was absolutely going to be India. And so when FranGlobal came to me and said, look, we think your proposition is right for this market, I said, yeah, I bit their hand off. I was desperate to work with them because I just know that with their experience and with my background with the big business consulting, and all of that together, if we can find the right local firm partners to do master franchising for us, then we're going to be really successful in India. So the way that we charge people, we charge fees for end clients in monthly retainer fees, but we offer a guarantee on those because nobody has ever gone through the full Strength of the Business Water Wheel course without returning at least in benefit to their firm more than the fee that they've paid for that. So that's a very attractive thing. It makes it very easy to sell our business coaching programs to people because people don't lose. So those are some of the highlights. Let's just talk the numbers very briefly. As an individual business coach, you would be looking to invest a 10 lakh fee to become a business coach. But the break-evens for that are really rapid. You'll break even inside a year. You cover your costs if you can find just 2 clients. And typical annual earnings are something of the order of 75 lakhs. So you can see that this is a highly profitable business. And obviously, the other big strength of it as a business is you don't have very big overheads at all, because this is a personal business. You operate through your laptop. You operate through perhaps some meetings locally when we go beyond the pandemic. But you can do this whole business from a home office very straightforwardly. So that's a coach. Now, our master franchising opportunity at the moment, the first level of that is going to be as a firm franchise holder. And firms will have up to 15 coaches in their stable, effectively, going out across the city and delivering coaching to end business owner clients. Now, as a firm, the initial franchise fee is 1 crore, and that's going to see you typically break even in under 2 years. So coming back to what Gaurav was saying right at the start, it's about an 18 to 24 month capital investment, making sure you can cover that time. Well, in this business, actually, we do even better than that. We'll see you break even within that time frame. So actually, that's a positive thing and it matches up with what Gaurav was saying. But yeah, we expect to try and develop relationships with people over 5-10 years plus in this, and it'll be most exciting for me to meet potential firm owners who want to have a longer term engagement relationship. And the typical annual earnings for the firms will be in the order of between 2.5 and 3 crores. So that's a massive return on the initial fee of just 1. So that's a summary of why. That's everything you need to know in a nutshell. I'm just going to take a quick spin through a series of other slides that show you the detail, and then these slides will be available for you to look at and see in more detail if you're interested later. So I won't take too much time on each of the other slides. So you can see here the structure that, in essence, underneath Pendleton in India, we'll be looking to get firms. And the firms will then have a series of coaches, and they may have some common client servicing functions, which might be administrative and billing and those sorts of things. And then underneath the coaches will sit the clients. We're thinking that there's a very realistic opportunity for at least 50 firms across India, and we've grouped the cities to show that typically in all 40 cities, there'll be an opportunity for a firm which would sustain that. To be successful, an end coach doesn't need that many clients. We'll show you exactly how many in the detail slides very shortly. But what that means is that you could, in fact, have more than 15. You could potentially, in a city the size of Delhi or Mumbai, you would typically expect there to be enough opportunity to have upwards of 50 coaches working for you. But we've modeled this around just 15 because we want to make sure that we're not over promising and under delivering. We like to under promise and over deliver. And so I think that's important to recognize that there's potential to grow even far beyond the figures that we're quoting here. So what clients, what sort of industries have we looked at? Well, in the UK, Our coaches have been really successful at getting into a very, very broad range of industries. So everything from retail, wholesale, property, construction, design, renovation, finance, legal, advisory, manufacturing, logistics, fulfillment, technology, and I'm going on and on and on. There's just, so you can deploy this method, this model in a huge range of industries. And so automotive, you might find that there's a local car seller, garage that they want to because they've become successful because they've focused on the 20% of their business which is specific to their trade. So they're a really high quality car seller. But what they generally aren't is a really high quality business practitioner. And so teaching them that really the 80% of how to run their business really well is what encourages them to grow. And so how do we do that? What are the things that we cover in this course? Well, here's the water wheel. So the business water wheel has 4 steps. In the center, you can see it's about knowing the strengths and weaknesses of the business and making sure that you've really understood the things that make it tick. On the left-hand side of the wheel, you can see there are 6 grow modules, and that's about growing the customer base, growing the sales, and growing the revenue of the business. On the right-hand side of the wheel is stage 3. That's the flow stages. And that's about doing good business practice really well and supporting the people who work within the business. And you can see those on the right-hand side. And when you've achieved a level of maturity across all of those different dimensions that is sufficient, your business is ready for overflow, the 4th stage. And this is where that business starts to develop a passive income for you. So that's a really exciting phase for the business owner clients at the end. But that gives you a brief summary of how we help businesses in detail. And so how do we help you as a business coach or as a firm holder? Well, for business coaches, we have an initial 12-week training program. And that training program is about making sure that you can establish your consulting coaching practice with no guesswork. You don't waste any money, you get there fast, and you have all of the right tools to really help businesses effectively straight away. The second thing we give you is you've obviously got your business water wheel, and the business water wheel is a system. It's based around high quality videos that I've produced myself. So they'll have a relationship with me, and you'll have that nice international relationship with the business owner, as well as their local relationship with you as their coach. And our network, which supports the business water wheel, allows you to speak to people like me, like other people who've worked for 40 plus of the largest businesses in the world who are members in the UK of the Pendleton Partners Network. So we'll help you to solve all of your business problems as well. And we have our 12-month engagement model, which we've done the legal agreements around for, so it makes it nice and straightforward so that you can understand how to offer the guarantee successfully, which makes it really easy to convert. And in essence, all of this thing for 12 months comes at the price of like a 5-year worker within the company, but what you get is the experience and the sort of the influence of having a new strategy director, and that sort of thing simply isn't accessible to most small businesses. They just can't afford for them to have that level of person within their business. But with this system now you can. And the reason you can is because so much of it is achieved through the videos and the homework packs, and a more limited amount is the face-to-face time with the local coach. And so it really allows them to make their business progress in leaps and bounds. So looking at the numbers, just we talked about these at the start. We've done some analytics around it, and Anshul has created a great model here, which just shows you that on average in the UK, coaches have between 15 and 20 clients. Now, that might sound like quite a lot of clients to have for a coach, but that's because the course does all of the heavy lifting for you. Now, the model here we've based around a selection of different numbers, but we've shown that even if your coach only gets 5 clients on board, you still make a break even in about a year. Now, typically they'll press on and do at least 10, and it is conceivably possible with this to serve almost 30, 35 clients, but I would recommend that you typically model on around 20. So we've built the model for the firm numbers, and I'll just restate that. So you've got a typical earning per coach of 75 lakh rupees. If we move on to the firms, and this is really the master franchise opportunity here for you, this is about how you would progressively build to a team of around 15 coaches. So we've made the assumption that most of the people who might want to become a firm holder, a master franchise holder, would potentially want to be a coach themselves. And so in the model here, you can see that we've put, you get the equity from your own coaching work, and you would be trained by me personally. But also we as a partnership would go on to train the other 14, 15 people who would work for you. And you can see that here there's the opportunity to break even within 18 months. The total earnings are enormous, and the average annual earnings will net you around 2.85 crore each year. So really highly profitable opportunity here. And we're looking obviously for people who are going to come on board, take on an initial coaching practice themselves, or come with a coach ready to work for them. If they want to do it that way around, that's fine too. And then build the firm out in their city. If you were interested in potentially taking the firm license for a number of cities or a region of India, absolutely fine with that. We can negotiate around how that would work in practice. But in essence, it's about redeploying the train the trainer approach that we use in the UK already. So this same system is active and working in the UK. We're having we've just had 2 record months. And this is the last thing I wanted to say was people are looking at whether COVID has been a major problem for business. Well, absolutely it has. But when you have a major problem in business, what do you need? You need great advice. And the example that I always give is if you try and catch a cricket ball with a hand over one eye, it's going to hit you in the face more times than not. But with 2 eyes on the problem, the business owner and the business coach working together, you catch that ball much more often and you don't get surprised by things. And so working to sort of with Pendleton as your partner to build that coaching practice, you can see how you can get people very, very quickly ready to go out into the field and help their clients. COVID has left loads of business owners sat thinking, what the heck do I do now? I don't understand it. So in the UK, we're seeing a huge surge in demand for coaching of this kind. And so I'm really excited to start building that out in India because I think it's going to be exactly the same there. Anyway, I hope that's been a useful introduction. Venus, is there anything else you wanted me to cover, or does that feel like it's a good summary?
No, as always, you've covered it perfectly, Rob, but if I can just sort of add a few points there. As Rob rightly mentioned, so a pandemic like this is, it's something like a black swan event. So, it changes and it brings a lot of disruption. And the pandemic actually has, in the coaching industry, and Rob and I have discussed this, we work very closely in the coaching, and myself, I've spent 14 years in consulting business. It actually has pushed the button when it comes to the coaching and the business consulting industry, especially in the SME sector. Why? Because I think right before the pandemic, or traditionally, SMEs in general are not considered that they would have sophisticated challenges, problems which they cannot address by themselves, right? But now it's a level playing field. So, for example, your shutter might be down, as we say in India, of your shop or of your factory or of your trading business, but the business is on. I mean, you have to enable yourself digitally. So every business of any worth, has been pushed to go and really sort of, I won't say use the word reinvent themselves, but really evolve themselves. And coaching industry, and I know especially in the West, has always filled that gap which is there between the big fours and at the bottom of the barrel. There's a big enough SME business, businesses are available, definitely in India, who really are kind of undergoing this so much of disruption, pandemic, digital, sort of factor coming into their business. And a coach would, generally coach doesn't work in the business, they work on the business. So they can bring in that, and it's not about knowledge. I think I in my consulting business and my coaching sort of the coaching brands we manage, everybody, okay, you might assume, okay, knowledge is free. Yes, knowledge is free. Coaching is not about knowledge. Coaching is actually about results. It's actually about results. So you're actually delivering results for your clients, and that's what it is all about. But I have to add that this business is not for everyone. You have seen Rob yourself. You've seen his energy is really early in the morning. And this business is right for people and enterprises who really sort of, want to, who have this appetite and profile of working with people and helping them, and really sort of becoming brand by themselves individually as well as at an enterprise level. If you are that, then Pendleton, and what Rob has done, his experience with the big corporates, he has really sort of really, squeezed that into this really very effective, sort of very proprietary system, and it works. He has a lot of experience into that, and his experience with India has also really, we have worked together with him to make the pricing both for the client as well as for the coach relevant for India. He has a different model in the UK. So those are important things. And I think one thing which, Rob, I would like to add is that, there were a couple of additional costs in the coaching business at an individual level, which were there, which is training costs, travel costs, lodging costs. Now, what this pandemic has done is it really has taken off those costs, and you can actually become a trainer now. If you want to become a coach, if you want to become a coach, you can actually do it from where you are right now, and start soliciting business, let's say within 15 days, once you are done. So that way, a lot of inefficiencies in businesses which are very sort of, person to person, those have been taken off, and the end client, I think there cannot be a better time. In fact, in India, we say we are all about family business, but actually this pandemic has proven it's about business family. Business comes first, and if you cannot survive in this business, and if you people are pushed to look at beyond their their core 9 to sort of 5 businesses, they're beyond, okay, should I diversify, should I do this, should I get extra capital, and so on and so forth. So a small and medium enterprise is kind of now just pushed to sort of really seek, they need help. And I think one thing which I always say, in business like coaching and network business, not about the demand is already there, it's about the supply. So I think with Pendleton, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a healthy supply of great coaches who want to build their careers, who want to build their sort of life and brand, and earn a very reputable living, which appreciates with time. If you invest time in it, not depreciates. Rob, I hope I put that well.
You have. There's just a few closing thoughts that I had, just picking up on some of the things you said there. And so it is very much about finding people who have drive. And if you think I gave a cricketing example earlier. If you think about a cricket coach and what they bring to the team, there is an element of knowledge, but really it's just about inspiring the people who you work with to be better than they are, and giving them the second eye, the analytics on their problem. So people who might feel that they'd be quite a good cricket coach could just as easily be quite a good business coach. And so that's the sort of person for whom this would be successful. You also mentioned about the sort of the problems becoming bigger for people as we've globalized. The smaller businesses are having to take on global sized problems, and people like PwC, who I used to work with, the clients that I was helping, Microsoft, Tesco, Unilever, Novartis, big horrible global companies, they have the budgets to be able to afford quality people who work for the biggest organizations in advisory services. Small businesses will never have that money. And so there was no way for them to access this level of thinking before. And that's why I had to create a system that relied, really nicely on videos and study, and creates an opportunity for people to get access to the very best thinking in business growth. And then in terms of the coaches themselves, one of the big things around COVID is the fact that there is no such thing as job security anymore.
Right.
So if you've been working as a consultant, or you've been working as a director of a business, or you've been an entrepreneur with your own business, and those are the three areas I tend to get most coaches from, there is no such thing as job security in any of those anymore. You could find yourself without a position. And so by far the best thing that you can do is take responsibility for that, jump on that problem and build your own business. And so becoming a business coach with your own business under a franchise enables you to get started quickly. And becoming a firm holder, where you can go out and use people to find all these clients and generate your funds yourself, again, is an even more lucrative business that takes responsibility for that problem and helps you. And it's very realistic, and this is the last thing I wanted to say, for a business coach who comes on board with us to have clients and be up and practicing and potentially even be broken even within 8 weeks of study and application of the model into action. It's really fast. We get you out there, we get you selling, we get you making money. And with the coaches doing that for you as a master franchise holder of a firm, it's going to be very profitable very quickly. And that's the thing that I really wanted to get across today.
Thank you so much, Rob, for
Pleasure.
being with us. You have a good day, and we will come back to you with the interest which we receive. I think your business requires a lot of discussion and qualification and just kind of knowing each other. So we'll come back to you. Thank you so much for being with us, Rob, today.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Priyanka? Priyanka, are you there? Hi, Abid. I think there's some problem with Priyanka. Good, Abid. How are you? I know we are running late by 15 minutes, so sorry about that.
No
but I'm glad that we could have you. How are you doing?
Doing well on a Friday morning.
I know. It's Friday morning for you. How things in Dallas?
Dallas doing well. It's actually rather cold.
Really?
Yeah, it's about almost freezing in the night.
Wow.
Which is rare in October.
Well, I never expect that from Dallas, because every time I visit Dallas, it's just hot, which I like. I'm from Delhi.
That's right. No, it's been a nice, quick fall.
Great. So Abid, great to have you, and just to sort of manage time. So we'll get started with iCode, and then I think then I will sort of I can then try and sort of contribute as we go along the presentation.
Great. I know Anshul is going to share his screen.
Anshul, could you please do that? Okay. Why, Anshul, you're there? There is some issue today. Anshul? Priyanka?
He is here, but I think the network is very much slow today.
Sorry about
Can
that.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, Priyanka.
Okay.
Anshul is sharing. Anshul, I think
yes, madam, I'm here.
You are here, right? So we can't see your screen.
Yeah. I'm just trying to put that. Yes.
I think while Anshul deals with and puts together the presentation, if I can briefly welcome and introduce Abid and iCode. So iCode is a Dallas-based, America-based coding brand for children. They work with children as young as 5 years old, Abid, right?
Yes.
And then go on till 15 years. I know iCode is also working for programs for adults, But I think, and Abid himself is an Indian American entrepreneur. He's one of those success stories which we call realizing the American dream, and has spent years with multiple businesses in IT and tech. So he understands that. iCode, what you see today is he has been kind of, incubating that and building that, I think last 6 years. And now it has become in the US one of the most premium top brand in the category for child learning and development. And as everybody knows that coding has become almost synonymous with education and child learning now. In fact, our government has come up with a sort of a statement that it will be essential to for children to learn coding from grade 6th. I never had that. I tried to learn coding when I was 20 years old, and I could never do that because it was in DOS, so it was so boring. So I think what Abid has done is he really has made it interactive. He does proprietary platform where a child comes in and they can start at 5 years old, and they can really sort of stay with the program as long as possible. And there are different products, and the way us and Abid has worked is that is most important right now is the distribution of the brand and the product. So we have built a business plan for India, which is across channels, so which is inclusive of retail, building, distributing and doing business with schools, doing summer camps and winter camps, and doing gaming, I think you call those gaming competitions, and many others. So it's a business, it's a comprehensive business plan. Ultimately, it is all about working with children and teaching them coding in the most interactive and child-friendly manner. Abid, did I do justice?
You did better than I could have, Venus.
Okay, thank you.
I think I could share the screen while I'm figuring it out.
Anshul, what is happening? Is there some issue?
I've got that up and running.
Your voice is breaking. Can you mute?
I've got it up Venus now. I can share the screen.
Let's do that. So we have a video first.
That's really my screen, Venus. Anshul, let me go ahead and do it.
Yeah, let's do that. That's the most easiest.
I'm also available.
Okay, thank you, Anshul. Can you mute yourself?
I'm also available now to share the screen.
Okay, Abid, your call, whatever you want to do.
That's fine. Anshul, go ahead.
Okay, great. Let me do that.
What is happening now used to happen with mics when we were doing actual conventions and conferences.
That's right. So I know I heard Gaurav and Venus talked about what actually master franchising is all about. And as an entrepreneur, started several businesses, as Venus said. So also there are a lot of folks who come to me to pitch their ideas. And when I listen to them, here are the three things that I focus on. And actually go to the next screen in terms of before I invest.
Yeah.
The first one is actually the industry, because I think it's important to judge for yourself, where is the industry? Because typically most of the industries have a bell curve, and you rather be on the left side of the bell curve rather than the right side. So teaching kids how to code, if you were to do any research, you'll find out fairly quickly that is a fantastic industry to be in. Not because I happen to be in the industry. I got into the industry because I felt that it is the right time to enter into the industry. So the first thing you need to judge for yourself and evaluate is the industry, where is the industry, what is the growth plan looks like for that industry. So that's number one. The second thing I think you need to look for is actually the leadership team, because you could have the best of the best plan, But if the leadership cannot execute the plan, then the plan is not worth the paper it's written on. So it's the next thing I look at is, okay, what is the leadership team looks like? What have they done in the past? What have they done in the current business? And that's what I look for, is the second thing that I look for. The third thing is, as Gaurav said it as well, and Venus, franchising is what I call a marriage, not a dating game. It is for a long haul. It is 5, 10, 15 years. So you really need to love the industry. You need to love the business model, because if you don't have the passion, the energy for it, then don't invest, is what I tell people all the time. So look for the industry, look for the leadership team, its ability to execute, and also look at the vision of the founder or the business team in terms of what it is, because it could be a great idea concept today, but 10, 15 years down the road, what is the plan? How is the model going to evolve? The management team, do they have a plan, a vision for where they're going to take the company? That's very important when you invest in a franchise model. Last but not the least, it's competitive differentiators, because if you don't have competitive differentiators, then it's really not worth it, because people can copy it. And also look for the number of competitive differentiators, because if you have 1 or 2, somebody may be able to copy it. But if you have multiple differentiators, then it's difficult for the competitors to copy you. So those are the 4 things that I look for when somebody comes and pitches me an idea. So as I quickly go through this presentation, that's the 4 things that I would focus on to ensure that is this something that you think that might interest you. On to the next slide. So that's the management team. As I said, I've been here in the US for the last 46 years. I'm originally from Hyderabad, left Hyderabad after high school to do my undergraduate, graduate school. Have done 15, 18 different startups since I've been here the last 4 years. Mike Myers, who is my chief operating officer, he was the president for GNC, which is a nutrition company. They had 8,000 stores. He runs the day-to-day operations for me, Mike. And then Derek is the director of ops. He was a multi-unit franchise owner, and as well as worked as the director of ops for a publicly traded franchise company as well. So you have a lot of depth and experience on the management team. In addition to that, I have a fantastic board of advisors. If you go to the website, icodeschool.com, you can look at those as well. Next slide. So one of the reasons I think the industry is fantastic, because according to the World Economic Forum, 65% of the jobs in 2030 have not been invented yet. And what they might be, we talked about the cryptocurrency, blockchain, drone command, IoT, robot mediator. These are some jobs titles of the future, according to the World Economic Forum. They haven't been created yet. So programming is the language of the future. Whether a kid wants to be a programmer or not, he or she must understand how to code, because that's going to be the basic fundamentals. It's like learning maths. And that's why I think India has mandated, I think that's a fantastic move on part of the Indian government to mandate teaching kids coding from the grade 6th, I believe. So I think that's a great move in the right direction. So therefore, I think this is the right industry to be in. Anshu? So iCode offers 4 different quadrants, I call it. One is called the Advanced, which is the collaborative computer science curriculum. PACE, which is a self-development game development program. Camps, obviously, the summer camps and the holiday camps are very popular. And we also have competitive gaming leagues. So all the programming the curriculum that iCode offers is within these 4 different areas. So Advanced, this is a 100% proprietary STEAM curriculum. STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Maths. This is 60 months or 5-year program. It's a progressive bell system. You could go to the next one, Anshul. So we have a progressive belt system all the way from foundation belt to black belt. And every belt is broken down into sprints, which is 6 to 8 sprint, and each sprint is about 4 weeks long. You enter in the foundation belt if you're in first grade, and then depending on your age and grade, you enter different belts. So not everybody has to enter through the foundation belt. When they're done with this belt program, which is 5 years long, they'll learn 7 different languages from C++, Python, Java, Alice, HTML, Scratch, and so on and so forth. So this is a very comprehensive computer science education program that progressively takes the student from one belt to another belt. So the belt system up to the master belt is through middle school, which in the US is up to the 9th grade. For high school, we have different boot camps, AI, virtual reality, Java, and database. So that's our comprehensive computer science education program. And not only we teach them the syntax of a language, but more importantly, we focus on teaching kids the soft skills that are absolutely essential to succeed in life. I'm not a tech by education, or I've never done coding in my life, even though I've done several tech startups. What has helped me succeed in this country is the soft skill, is the communication skill, collaboration, teamwork. I think these are important skills that a kid has to learn in order to thrive and do well in today's world. And we focus on that, not only just the syntax of it. Next slide, Anshu. We also have the PACE program we talked about. This is a self-development PACE program, whereas the BELT system is a very structured program that you have to attend. It's a cohorts that goes through one class to another class, whereas the PACE program is more self-paced. The kids can come in, drop in anytime they want, and learn game development. So that's the whole program is based on game development and very self-paced, so it's not structured as the BELT system. Next slide. We also have camps. If you go to the next one, we have incredible lineup of camps. We have over 20 different camps we offer, all the way from 3D printing to AI to app creation, YouTube production, VR experience, Battle of the Bots, digital artwork. These are fantastic summer camps. These are 40-hour camps. Each one of them, they last a week. We typically offer them during the summer break, and they are hugely successful because the kids actually get to play with the robots, with the drones, with 3D printing, and so on and so forth. And this is a great program. Every year we continue to add more and more summer camps as we get along. But last summer we offered about 20 plus summer camps. So these are all on-site in our campuses. All these programs are offered. Next one. We also do competitive leagues. We actually have one of the hubs or classroom. Each I-Code has 4 different hubs. One of the hubs is actually a sporting setup with gaming machines, lights, and the whole ambience that is absolutely creates the magic. This is a great way for kids to compete in gaming. We call it iSports. It's a huge phenomenon here in the US. So those are the 4 programs that are offered from an on-site, physical, on-campus perspective. The next one slides leads you to we have a bunch of sort of off-site and online programming as well. So the off-site programs are the programs we offer on-site in the schools. So we participate in multiple different schools throughout the US where we actually go in and teach our programs after school. So this is off-site after school program we teach at the schools. We have 3 different programs. We have the iView, I360, and the summer camps that we offer from an off-site perspective as well. Next one. So then these are all the on-site programs we talked about. And then we have a tremendous amount of online instructor-led classes as well, Anshu. So we also have online summer camps. So the camps that I showed you earlier were pretty much on-site, whereas these camps are actually can be done online through instructor-led programs. Once again, we have great programs, camps like 3D printing. What we do is, even though physically they're not there, the kids will create the whole sort of avatar, for instance, in 3D. I could actually print it and mail that 3D avatar that the kid has created to their home. So they actually get to see what they created. Obviously, YouTube production is very popular here in the US. Roblox is also something that's very popular in the US. In addition to the summer camps, the next slide, Anshul, also we have a long curriculum broad in the online space as well. So the belt structure program is more computer science education, whereas the online program is more vertical. So if somebody wants to learn Java, they will have 6-7 different sprints, and this is all online or on-site. This could be done or hybrid model. or somebody wants to learn Python, is something that they go deep vertically in that space, whereas the belt curriculum is more structured, whereas the online program is more vertically. So once again, popular program, Minecraft, Roblox, YouTube, 3D, Python, these are great programs. The kids have a great time enjoying, and this could be done from an online perspective. So for an online structure, we have curriculum just like we have it for on-site, as well as we have summer camps that can be done online. So we have both on-site campus programs curriculum, as well as online instructor-led curriculum as well. Next one. As Venus said earlier on, in the future, we're going to add adult certified courses, because if you want to look at how an iCode looks like, you can go icodefranchise.com. There's a virtual tour at the top. So the place is designed in a fashion to really attract kids, also make it very, very functional for adults, which is rare, because when you lease a place in a campus or a rental space, you don't pay the rent for 3 hours or 4 hours use, you pay for 24 hours. So we want to make sure that we utilize the space effectively. So we plan to offer adult certified courses in the cybersecurity space as well. So that's something that we hope to launch it next year, which will ensure that we utilize the space all the way from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 in the evening, because 7 to 4 will be the adult program and 4 to 8 will be the KISS program. So effective utilization of the assets that have been deployed. Next slide. So in summary, in terms of from an iCode difference perspective, we're one of the fastest growing industries in the world, actually, not just in the US. We have a very competitively differentiated model with multiple different revenue streams. We are the only company in the space that provides full high-tech facilities, the use of drones, Legos, robots, Legos, Minecraft. So not only you get a computer to use, but also you get some of the other hardware which normally kids won't have access to. We have proprietary curriculum, 100% or 4,250 hours of curriculum, summer camps, a proven system, and a marketing playlist. So these are some of the key differences between us and our competitors. And once again, I think it's the right industry to focus on, and I think we have the right differentiated model, the right management team. Anshul? I think Anshul can quickly go through the numbers from an Indian perspective. These are some of the photos from iCode schools here in the US. And I'll have Anshul to quickly take us through the Indian business model or the financial model. Anshul, we can't hear you.
Okay. So we then come to the India opportunity. And as we would know that India today has about 200 million students, or in Indian terms, about 2 crore students. 20 crore students in K-12 today, right? And India is also witnessing exciting times with improving affluence, where parents, now more aware parents, want to send their kids for better education, coaching, training facilities, and so on and so forth. As Abid mentioned in the presentation earlier, that future is going to be, tech-enabled. Jobs would be linked to your ability to, put together a coding program, or in that sense, right? So this is where this becomes very exciting opportunity. We also see that in India today, technology adoption in K-12 particularly remains abysmally low. So we don't have many schools who offer even a standard level of technology integration within the school campus, right? And those who are offering it today are very expensive. So, a common man cannot get into these schools. So this is where we believe, there is an opportunity for iCode. iCode is also the only player with widest portfolio. We spoke about multiple programs at the center. Then there is a wide portfolio for online programs, as you could see in the presentation. We're also looking at K-12 integrations, where you could run the program within the school. And as Abid mentioned, we're also planning to bring in some adult certified programs to be run during the daytime, right? So that offers a wholesome mix of courses, programs to be offered. Best curriculum, best infrastructure. You could see some of the pictures, and the only company today to be offering franchise in India in this category. We've done a bit of a competition assessment also. Some of the players available in India, but they're not offering franchises, and they don't have the similar set of services, the similar set of offering that iCode would offer today. So all three things put together, lack of technology in K-12s, lack of credible player in the market today, and the need of such service looking at the future, this presents a sustainable opportunity for iCode in India to set up a network of training centers. We would call it as experience centers also, backed by a strong online curriculum and integrated K-12 courses. We've listed out some of the cities where we believe we can set up our centers. Company, of course, is open to do regional master franchises with some franchise rights. Multi-unit operators who would be doing, 2, 3, 5 units all by themselves. Or we can also look at a direct single unit franchise-owned, franchise-operated centers as well. In terms of the financials now, so we've been looking at a center of about 1,500 to 2,000 square feet space. This is an exclusive center where we create 4 hubs. And as you can see in one of the in the pictures here, these are the 4 hubs. These sort of hubs is what we create. The first picture here, this is the entrance and the main lobby. Then the second picture where you can see kids and there is a trainer. So this is how we create the first classroom where kids actually learn with the trainer, right? And behind the kids, you can see all Apple desktops, high performance computers are placed, right? Similarly, so on that note, we're looking at an investment of about a crore, 1 crore, which includes a franchise fee of 15 lakhs. And most of our products, in fact, all of the products are taken from Apple only. So that's why you see the IT package, about 45 lakh rupees investment on the IT equipment, 1,500 to 2,000 square feet center, interior fit out costings about 25 lakh rupees for that. And other costs, you can see office supplies, marketing supplies, pre-opening, training. So overall, an investment of 1 crore, including the franchise fee of 15 lakhs, right? Now, coming to the revenue and the ROI perspective, we believe with a capacity of 50 students, we're looking at 6,800 hours per month, which is billable hours per month, right? And average fee per hour is what we've estimated is about $5.8, or in INR terms, that's 435. This means at 100% utilization, we're able to generate an annual turnover of 3.5 crores, right? And this is a very high margin business. As you can see, some of the cost sides would be, of course, the royalty 15%. But apart from the rent, there is no other high cost per se in this business. So staff of 18 to 20%, rent about 12 to 14%. So overall, we're looking at of 40%, 35 to 40% net margin. This would of course not be in year 1, but year 2, year 3 onwards, we should definitely look at a 35-40% net margins in the business. And this 3.5 crore turnover is only the revenue coming from the center. So we have to also add here revenues from the online courses and also revenue from K-12 integrations. So overall, with an investment of 1 crore, we're definitely looking at a break even between 18 to 21 months very good locations could do even better. In terms of the property, you could look at converting a bungalow into an iCode center, a bungalow which is strategically located, surrounded by some mid to high end K-12s where you can easily approach them and start your programs within the K-12 segments also. What we've done in US is we've used K-12s as more of a marketing channel where we give the initial experience to kids at their schools and encourage them to visit at the centers, right? And that's when we're able to give a full experience to parents and the kids to ensure there is a sizable enrollment at the center also. Yeah. So with that, I would like to invite Abid and Venus to take the closing stages.
Abid, any closing comments? And first, I think, are you able to open stores in Dallas now?
Yeah, some of the stores are open. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dallas
Okay.
is Texas, right? So
Yes.
we don't follow the norm.
Which I love. Mm.
That's right. So, no, it's doing well.
Great.
Well, and I want to thank you guys for having me. I know we're a little bit over time as well, but as I said, I told people just keep three things in mind, whether it's iCode or any other franchise you're looking at. Look at the industry, look at the management team, and look at what the future from a long-term perspective, what vision they have, and how is the model differentiated from the competitor. Because if you focus on those four things, whether it's iCode or anything else you would invest in, you can't go wrong.
Absolutely, and I think especially from a industry perspective, in my view, and Abid, you would also would have known and heard about this, and we have discussed this before, that India is seeing an onslaught. I want to use the word onslaught, but a tremendous momentum of investments into edutech. That's one area of education which really has got almost $1 billion investment. We have 2 unicorns now. What would be your comment? And if you can close with this, is people say, okay, we have White Hat Junior, we have Baiju, and we have YouTube. And I know that knowledge is not education. I know that knowledge is not implementation. But where does iCode stand as a business and as a brand with whatever is happening in the edutech space? And I know it is happening not just in India, but all across the world.
I think there's a key difference, because I think in a lot of those online courses are focused on teaching kids how to code, which is great. But what is more important, I think, is teaching kids the collaboration skill, the teamwork, the ability to work with the hardware, like the drones, like the robots, like the Legos, right? Kids coming together and forming a team. Because in reality, when we go out to work, we don't work as individuals. We work in a team. We collaborate. We solve problems, right? So online education can only take you so far.
Sure.
We definitely have the online component, but we combine the online with the hands-on physical aspect, and that's the key difference. And in the US, syntax will change, right? Some of us who are old, they were Visual Basic, Power Builder,
Right.
COBOL, all those languages. The syntax changes. That's not that important. It is understanding the foundational concept. What's an array? What's a database? How do you flow chart? How do you break a problem down? Those are the things that are important. Working in a team, doing project management, doing presentations. These things cannot be taught from an online perspective. Online has had its place. I'm not saying it doesn't have its place, but I think what iCode does, it adds the other element, which I think equally important, if not more important.
I totally agree, and if I can, open up a bit, that as a child, of course, we were academic schools. It is one-way learning, and I hated maths as a child, and because it was not taught to me in a way I should have been taught, and that is actually a systemic problem in India, challenge in India. And I think what you are doing is it's not about one way system for you. I think when the child is there with you, you are actually seeing how he or she is learning, and that really becomes an overall that's how That's the biggest thing, is that the child actually learns. It's not just about cramming up. And I'm actually have a personal affliction with this because I suffered it as a child. So I think the future of business, the future of retail, and again, I'm not a pundit or something, but future of business, future of retail, future of education or consumption is not in anything particular. It is distribution across channels. You have physical, you have digital, then you have optimization at a neighborhood level. I think it's a combination of everything. And that actually is a challenge which all of us are now going through, is how to really think about things which we have consumed all our lives, but they are just changing in front of us. And so soon, this pandemic, that is what it has done. So I think Abid, I code kind of brings that factor, is not just working in isolation with one thing.
Right. As I said, if online education was perfect, why do we have schools? Why do we have universities? Why don't we
That's
just do it
correct.
online? Right?
That's
There's
correct.
some benefit to have the social interaction, the collaboration, the teamwork, the physically you sit down and you work with people across the desk. There's some value to it. If online is everything, then let's just close out all the schools, let's close out all the universities, and let's do everything online. It doesn't work. And that's what the ICO does, is bridge that gap between the online and the physical skills, the soft skills that are essential to succeed.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Abid, for joining us from Dallas. Wish I was there. And again, but no, I don't wish I was there, because I think this week is going to be crazy in the US with the election. So good luck with that. And world is watching, first of all. Good luck with that.
It's not
Sorry. I
going to
know. I think we are actually getting scared sitting outside that what is happening. But we are, I mean, we live in Indian democracy. We see crazy every day. So good luck with that. Thank you so much for joining in, and I appreciate you the time you spend with us. I know you're busy and it's really early for you. So have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you so much, Abid.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you so much, Avid.
Yeah.
And today we are presenting our last brand of the day, which is Cosmoderma. And Cosmoderma is a skin, hair, and body care brand. So to present the brand, I will bring in Anshul Bansal, our senior consultant. So and over to you, Anshul. You can take over the brand presentation.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Priyanka. So we now bring our last, but not the least, of course, not the least brand of the day. We're presenting Cosmoderma. This is a Bangalore-based skin, hair, and body clinic chain of clinics. I'll quickly run through this presentation. Okay, so is one of the best clinics in India. I already mentioned about 7 centers in Bangalore and Chennai. This is founded in the year of 2005 by internationally renowned celebrity cosmetologist Dr. Chaitra V. Anand, and has been awarded multiple times well-decorated doctor in that sense, right? That's Dr. Chaitra Anand. Diversified verticals in terms of skin and hair, health and wellness centers, research centers, training academy, all set up around Bangalore and Karnataka. We've recently set up a center in Chennai as well. So moving forward, industry recognitions and achievements that companies been able to capture over the years. You could see about 90,000 services every year across our 7 centers, 100,000 plus clients, and a very good client satisfaction rating of 8.5, right? And over the last 5-7 years, of course, the company has been 15 years in operations. But if you see last 5-6 years, Dr. Chaitra has been decorated well with many, many awards. And similarly, company also has been awarded multiple recognitions and awards in that sense, right? Now, what do we offer? Cosmoderma encompasses the four verticals of medical beauty industry. You could see Cosmoderma would touch across health and wellness center, clinical dermatology. We also do cosmetic and skincare, and there's of course a beauty salon that we have within our structure. In terms of the market map, Cosmoderma is placed as bridge to premium segment. This is placed higher than Kaya Skin Clinic, Berkowitz, Oliva, and offers, of course, better services, some new age equipment, and state of the art infrastructure that we have created across our clinics, right? Absolute focus on customer safety, and this has been over past 6 months especially. The safety for our customers has been our topmost priority. We've also launched a special service, immune booster therapy, to help our clients, regular customers in fact, to stay safe and stay healthy even during this pandemic times. So what is the India opportunity for such a service? India currently world's sixth largest economy, in fact now fifth, and remains one of the fastest growing major economies of the world. And as you would know, amongst the young nations at an average age of 29, 30 years, likely to be around that mark over this decade as well. So that's where we see a growing opportunity with this sort of service, especially looking at corporate women. And this segment is always growing. There's more and more women coming in corporate circles now, and they want to take care of themselves, of course, and Cosmoderma is there to help them out. Similarly, college students also, especially in metros and tier ones, better colleges, uh, females who want to look, want to take care of themselves as well. So that's the two very broad segments that company caters to. And apart from corporate women and college students, there are also women of all ages that we provide our services to in Bangalore and in Chennai. So, looking at from the current perspective, these top 15, 20 cities in the country, uh, this presents an opportunity for Cosmoderma sort of services to develop 50 centers across India. Hailing from Bangalore and south of India, of course, the target is to set up, focus is to set up clinics in Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad as the phase one markets, where we can handhold our franchise partners better, we can support them much better. But over the 5 years horizon, we are absolutely keen to look at markets like Delhi, Mumbai. In North, we also see strong opportunity from places like Chandigarh, Ludhiana, Jaipur is very interesting. In West, we also see opportunities with Pune, Ahmedabad, Surat sort of places, right? So these are some of the top 20 cities that we want to be seen, and we believe there is a strong opportunity for our sort of services. So what is on offer here, right? Um, First few reasons why you should partner with Cosmoderma today. So company is offering two sort of opportunities. One is a franchise owned, franchise operated. It's a pure franchise model where you would be setting up the infrastructure and you also take care of operations. Company would charge a royalty on that. Second is a management contract where company participates with you in terms of the business development and running the operations, but the ownership of setting up the center and operation stays with you, right? So company would put their own center manager, brings in the business development expertise, and also customer servicing expertise, ensuring you better revenues, better margins, and everything, right? Uh, we've discussed about the vast India opportunity, brand strength, also experience and expertise over past 15 years, international acclaimed profile for Dr. Chaitra. 7 centers which provide a strong proof of concept for you. We are always welcome to visit our centers and take the first-hand information, understanding of the operations. And sustainable competitive advantage with a strong brand recall in South India, across our centers. Just to mention, Kaya Skin Clinic started this category about 20 years back. Today, it's a 100-center company present across 16 states in India. So what we believe is, not taking a step ahead of Kaya, we also believe that 100 centers over next 5-7 years is a definite opportunity for a company like Cosmoderma. So we have 2 models now. One is Elite, which is a full service clinic at 1,000 square feet. And one is Express, which offers high demand services. And this is for Express particularly, we can look at your location and look at the services mix combination that would be most feasible, most workable for you. This is a 800 square feet center, right? The key difference in these 2 models would be, as you can see in the table below, is the equipment mix. So some of the high cost equipment like body shape, HIFU, photofacial, which put together is about a 1 crore investment in this equipment itself. We have not put this in Express model to begin with. These will only form part of the Elite model, right? Express, of course, you can start with Express smaller setup, and over 6 months to 1 year period, you may want to add these 3 equipment also depending on the demand in your territory, and be able to offer these services also. So 2 models, an opportunity for association in terms of franchise and franchise operated, and also management contract. So both can be evaluated, and we can sort of do the association part. In terms of the partner profile, so very important that our partners, one, because this is a slightly heavy investment model. As you can see on the previous slide also, Express is 80 lakhs, includes a franchise fee of 10 lakhs. Elite is a 2 crore business, which includes a franchise fee of 14 lakhs. So from the franchisee profile also, we're looking at partners who have this sort of investment bandwidth, right? More importantly, operation skills, which means clinic management, client interaction, service execution. So these would be very, very important. We understand that if you're a doctor already, yourself doctor, or you have somebody as a doctor in your circle who can partner you in this association, it would make a very good team for you. So essentially, an investor with a doctor, or a doctor who can be an investor, this is the profile that we're looking at. There's also an interesting and a very exciting opportunity to integrate with large salon setups. Especially the national chains like Tony and Guy and the likes. You can look at Lux also. These are some of the premium salon chains who would do setups of 2,000 to 2,000 square feet and investment of close to 1 crore per salon. This is where we see, because they already are serving a very common set of customers, and they have the right infrastructure with them. So within their same building, we can take out this 700-800 square feet space and set up this clinic, alongside their salons, right? So with the same customer, both the services can be offered. So this is where we see a good opportunity with the large salon setups. If you are a franchisee with one of these salon chains, you could do this. Or, if you are an investor and can partner a salon like this, that could also be an interesting combination. Our support functions, site approval, clinic design and setup, equipment sourcing, training at launch. As I said, we're looking at doctors or investor with doctors, but we would like to, give you a detailed training in terms of our processes, our service standards, client interaction, and so on and so forth. So there is a detailed training module at the launch of the program. Also, all along, we would continue to do training. There is an annual training program that we have. There is a support and assistance in critical services execution. So we also understand that some of the services you may not be able to offer yourself, maybe just with your experience or expertise. So a senior team of doctors from our office
Anshul, we lost you.
would visit and help you.
You're there. You're there now.
In terms of the financial, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
In terms of the financials now, Express model, as I said, this is about 80 lakh rupees, includes a franchise fee of 10 lakhs. Elite is about 2 crores with a franchise fee of 14 lakhs. In terms of the revenue side now, so average bill value per customer, or you can say per patient, and this is basis our current performance in our centers. We're looking at 2,500 rupees per customer, right? And with 20 customers per day in Express, which is again a number that we are doing in our centers. We're doing much higher, in fact. 20 and 30 in Elite, we could look at a structure where 15 lakh rupees can be done as a monthly revenue. And on that 15 lakh rupee revenue, some of the expenses that we've taken a rental of 75,000 for Express and 1 lakh rupee for Elite, because this needs to be in a better locality, but need not be the ground floor location. It can be first floors or even second floor properties also. So that's where the rent value is taken on the lower side. Most of the other expenses, you can see there's a fixed royalty here, 50,000 for Express and 100,000 for Elite. Overall, as you can see, on a 15 lakh rupee monthly revenue, you're looking at 6 lakh rupee net profit in Express, and Elite, you do 9.5, 10 lakh rupee monthly profits, right? Which means for Express, this is 13 to 15 months break even, and Elite, we can easily do 21 to 24 months break even. Overall, we're looking at 35 to 40% as a net margin in this business, where you can easily do 5-6 lakh rupees monthly for Express, and 8-10 lakh rupees for Elite monthly revenue, monthly profits can be done. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anshul. Cosma Derma is one of the few clients which we take on board at FranGlobal because I mean, they're just unique in their nature, and they just have this tremendous opportunity and market to scale in India. And we are very, very happy to partner with Cosma Derma. And the founder of Cosma Derma, Dr. Chaitra Anand, she's one of the top professionals and people in this particular business, and brings a tremendous amount of best practices, training, and so what you're getting in a very reasonable investment, which is the Express model. And what we realize is that see, there are different categories in the beauty business. I'll quickly close now because I know we're running short of time. We have salons, and then we have aesthetics clinic. Now, the Express model is somewhere the marriage in between, but with best practices and with very effective commercial model. You can put this anywhere with a good neighborhood, and sort of where you would find branded salons and gyms. It will do very well. And we are representing Cosma Derma, and would love to kind of share more information with you in case you find this interesting. So on that note, I have to, first of all, I want to give a big round of applause for our participants. I think although we are 1 hour over time, you have stayed with us, most of you, and I hope this was valuable to you. These sessions are not about selling as much as it is about sharing information and really trying to connect with people who see themselves owning and operating a master franchise in India and other countries. So that's what it is about. Hope you, if you are interested in any particular brand or would want to discuss more about what it is, what it takes to become a master franchise, or if you would want any specific master franchise to bring to India, we would love to hear back from you. You have our email address. You can also reach us on our LinkedIn, on our Facebook, on our mobile phones. Just let us know, and we would love to have I would love to have a one-on-one discussion with you. I want to wish you all the best on your journey of owning a master franchise, and thank you so much. You please enjoy your weekend. I also have to thank all our brands who joined us from all across the world, different time zone. Should also thank my team members. Anshul, thank you so much. Priyanka, Dheeraj, and your team. You always made this happen. So thanks again, and look forward to connect in future. Take care. Good night.